Hello and welcome to another episode of the Instant Impact Event Show. I am Cheryl Williams.
I'm CJ Williams. How you doing? Thanks for being here.
We are happy to have you guys here, and we have an awesome topic to start today off with. I know you guys have been, asking for different topics, and so we're getting them out there.
Change it up, mix it up.
We're jumping in, but today we're gonna cut the chit chat.
Yes.
Because we're always listening for feedback, right? And so it's do you guys like longer episodes? Do you like shorter episodes? Do you like when we talk a lot in the beginning, or do you like when we just jump in? And some people are like, just give us the meat, right?
So we'll dive.
So, get rid of the fluff and hop into the meat. So today,
how are you creating an impactful event?
Yeah. And, let that sink in, because, everyone's
impactful.
Right. And that's really, if you, we're instant impact events. That's what we are. And the reason we came up with that name is because,
we want to make a difference.
We did. We want to, obviously, we want to impact you with what we're doing. Or when we're putting on an event for somebody else, we want to create an event that is impactful, right? When we are putting on our own events, we want impact, right? And so we also, though, put together the instant, because so many people think that...
Or overthink.
That too. That it takes a long time to create an impact. And we talk about you want to create an instant impact while also creating a lasting impact, right? But split second, you're creating impact, just like this. No matter, when you're driving down the road and you see someone, you wave, you create an impact in their life, right?
Yes.
When you're smiling at somebody, pushing your, grocery cart through the store, you're making an impact, right?
You are.
When you frown at somebody or kick the cat or, say some words maybe you shouldn't say, that's creating an impact too, right? And so it's like,
impact.
What impact are you wanting to create? And when you're having an event, a lot of people get stuck in checking off the boxes and starts going through the motions. It's
not caring about anything else and nothing emotional.
And it just starts becoming very robotic. It's okay, we have our venue, we have what we're going to be speaking on, we have our speakers, or we have our topics, we're getting our marketing out there, we're going to have this type of setup, we're going to have this with our brand, we're going to do this and this and this.
And robotic.
And
that will show also.
It loses the impact, right? And so you've got to always back up and remember, what is the purpose of putting on your event? What end result are you wanting your attendees to get?
Creating an impact in somebody's life.
And through your message, through your words, every single step along the way. Like we always talk about, an event is an experience, and an event is an experience, but the experience comes through the impact that you're making before, during, and after.
Yes, before. Before. Even before somebody signs up, they heard from you. You were caring, you were nice, you were reaching out.
And the impact, it streams all the way through everything, and it works together. And so, whenever we're talking, and sometimes it feels like we're just beating it into you guys, because we are. It's the art of creating that experience, the art of creating an impact, the art of, all of these things. And the reason we call it an art is because it is, right? You can just regurgitate information, or you can just talk at people. But when you're actually there to create an impact, to transform them, to have them leave a different person than when they came.
That's right.
And you always have that in the back of your mind. Everything that you do, it's okay, what experience are we creating? How is this going to impact our attendees? How is this going to impact
They'll
them?
notice everything.
And
Any
they do.
little thing you do, they'll notice.
Yeah. And it's, you have to back up before you're even having an event. It's what is the purpose? What is the reason for this event? What is the transformation? What is the knowledge that we want to assimilate and disseminate to our attendees? And how are we going to do that through our event?
And every team member should know that also. Anybody who's there at the event for you to help out should know the end result.
And you do that by getting everybody on the same page. You do that by having your team meetings. You do that by giving out, it becomes way before the event, like we talk about all the time. It's what culture are you creating in your business? What culture are you creating around your event? How are you pushing that out through you out to your team members, out to your staff, out to your coaches,
Yep.
out to the AV person, out to everyone, so that
Yes.
everybody's on the same page going forward, and we know this is our core mission, this is what we're doing, this is the experience we want to create, and this is how we're going to create that impact through our event.
Yes, and you're going to have to relay that message right before the event, even for the new team members who are there just for the event, because they're not going to know either.
And you have to constantly spread the message. You have to constantly remind your team members and sometimes even yourself as to why you're doing this. When you're working on your presentation and you're working on getting all the nuances, or you're working on your new offer, or you're working on your pitch, if you want to call it that. It's like, what is the outcome? What is the end result? What is the impact that we're wanting to create? When you're picking your venue, are you taking your attendees' considerations in mind? Or are you just saying, hey, it's good enough, it's where I like it, it's perfect for me, it's close to where I want it to be, so
and that's it.
Good is good.
Parking's high, no place to eat because you got your food delivered to you.
Right. You have to think about all of these things, and these things are all creating the impact. The same thing with are you giving them just a name tag when they check in and say thanks for showing up, or are you giving them something else that creates an impact? Are you giving something with their name on it, something with your branding on it, something that they can take home, something that they can use at the event? These are all things. Same thing with are you giving them snacks? Are you just saying, hey, snacks are down the hall.
They get the munchies.
Make sure you bring your own. Or are you providing something for them? Again, these are all impactful things along the way. That doesn't mean you have to serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks, right?
Oh, no.
But you can intermingle
Give
that
something.
with what you're doing. It's also
giving back. Give something for them because they're there for you.
And another thing is, if you're not charging enough for your event, it's hard to do some of these things, right?
Yes,
it's hard to get the
'cause it's
best
gonna add
AV.
up.
It's hard to get a good venue. It's hard to provide food and beverage because you're not charging enough on the front end for your event. So then you need to back up and say, okay, for us to deliver
how is that covered
the
already?
value that we're wanting to deliver, for us to create the experience and a lasting impact for our attendees, what does the investment need to be for this event for us to be able to do that? Because you're doing yourself and your attendees a disservice if you are charging too little to not be able to give the experience and the impact that you're wanting to create.
And you'll notice when you do raise your prices, your clientele is going to change also.
Yeah.
For the better.
If you're going out with the coupon crowd, right? It's you get the 10.
And nothing's wrong with them.
No. And again, if you're going out with the coupon crowd and you're nickel and diming for everything, you're going to maybe end up at the Sizzler, right? Or whatever other buffet, and then you get it down from there, right?
Yep, and they're going to nickel and dime you.
Or are you, maybe you're offering a little more and you end up at the Chili's or the Olive Garden. Hey, that's okay too, right?
That's right.
But maybe you're paying. They got some good chips and salsa over at Chili's. No, they're knocking that, but that's good, right?
She drinks the salsa, literally.
Why have chips when you can use a spoon? You know what I mean? I mean, come on. Make a name.
Chips are involved.
Chips are involved, but it's the salsa that makes it.
Yes.
If you don't have the right salsa, the chip can't do it justice. Yes, it's like the chips and salsa with a little bit of salt on the chip and scoot into the.
Got me already thinking. Where can we take the kids?
It's so good. Okay, back to what we're talking about. Versus, if you're gonna pay a little more and you're expecting maybe you end up at
a nice room,
like a Benihana, or you end up at a nice steakhouse, or you end up at a nice sushi restaurant, right?
Yes.
These
in
are
a nice
all,
room.
It's all levels of expectation, but also the investment that you're putting in for the Sizzler and the Golden Corral or the McDonald's or the Wendy's or what other fast food things versus the Chili's or the Olive Garden or that level, or you're going up a level from there. You have the steakhouse and the Benihana or a nice sushi restaurant. It's all levels, right? And so the same thing for
and your events is levels also.
But the expectation that comes with that is I don't want to invest into a steakhouse price and get fast food results, right?
Yeah, you got to step up your event also.
Now, you can have people that invest in fast food and expect steakhouse. You do. right?
They want both.
So you have got to set up the expectation as to
just
what
quality.
they're getting, but also setting the barrier of entry of how they're getting to your event has to be enough that they are investing into themselves and investing into you and the level of experience that they can get because they invested more than investing less is a better experience. It's a better, bigger impact.
Everything looks good. It sounds good. Nice
good.
people. Tastes good. You're just on food. Sounds good and looks good, and expectation is going to be great.
Yeah. And
you're going to love it.
So the impact that you create is in direct correlation to your intent before you start. So everyone's like, we want to make an impact at the event, and you do, but the level of impact and the caliber of impact that you can create stems from way back when you presented this offer, presented what your ticket price or what your investment
ahead of time.
was, right? So, I'm going to put some numbers out there. If you're charging $500 for an event ticket and it's 3 days and you're expecting to have, let's say 100 people at the event, and you're going to serve, maybe a breakfast or a buffet or a continental something and a snack, you have priced yourself out just in that with the $500 you're going to spend.
Yes.
Right?
This food and beverage is going to eat your butt.
For the event
Not
and for the
literally.
food and beverage and for the AV, there's nothing left, right? It's not. And if you don't know what you don't know. And so if you haven't been in the event space, you don't know how, but per person, there's not a lot in there.
Yeah.
So versus
Your event shouldn't be under 1,000.
No, especially an in-person event.
Yes.
And if it's 2 or 3 or 4 days, you gotta, there's a level to that.
Correct.
Versus if you're charging $5,000 as an investment for your 2-day event, right? Okay, we're working with something here, right?
Yes.
So, and that's not to say that, if you have an entry-level event, I know I felt something. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My hair is just decided.
Sorry about that.
It's the humidity in the air today. It's decided that it just it's going to go wherever it wants to go and do whatever it wants to do today. Here, well, let's tuck it behind. There we go.
Okay.
Safe and secure right there. All right. So if you are investing $500 versus $5,000, you're getting a different experience. You just are, right?
And you better have it set up nice also.
And not saying that at $2,000.
Better not have a crappy event for a $5,000 ticket.
Right. Same thing with the 200 versus 2,000, right? It's just adding a zero, but with that, it gives you the ability to create a much better experience.
Yes.
And
quality, for sure.
And then from that, you need to make sure that you're delivering at your event as well. So many people have events, and maybe they do charge a lot, but the delivery is non-existent. It's like, okay, guys, come on, we can do better. Just because you can charge more doesn't mean then that people are just there, right? They're there to get information. They're there for a transformation.
The energy in beforehand. Know what you're going to give. Do you have enough? You're going to know that before you even sell your event. From your team, ask suggestions. Could we add something else? And get feedback to make it right.
And before you start putting out, you have to know, have an idea, a framework that you're working with of, okay, these are the things we're going to cover. This is the topics that we want to hit. This is how we're going to make an impact. We're going to create transformation. We're going to have someone come in and leave a different person than when they came, right?
Yes.
Because of the information, because of the impact, because of the transformation that you're giving them. And that all stems back from, you got to back it up.
Right.
Right?
And they're going to love hearing that because they get excited for the transformation.
Well, and then it makes it easier to, when you have a bigger vision, when you have more information.
You have to create a better image.
And then you can tell them, hey, at this event, we're going to cover this, 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 and this. Versus, hey, we're just having an event about this. Not really sure what we're going to cover. We'll cross that bridge when it gets a little bit closer. Versus, hey, first day we're going to teach you this. Second day we're going to teach you that. You're going to be coming in. We're going to be learning this. Make sure you come with your questions.
Forward to this.
It's like you're setting it up for them on the front end because you've put some thought into it, because you've put your time, effort, and energy into it, but you also know what they're going to get out, and that's how we create the impact. And we always talk about, too, before, during, and after, right?
Correct.
So if you can sell them or show them or talk to them about what they're going to be getting at this event, they're going to be more excited to attend your event anyways.
The expectation's going to be larger.
Yeah, and you want a
Yes.
big expectation so that you can fulfill on that. But you
Right.
also want them excited about coming to the event.
Yep.
You want
and
them
excited when they get home. And then they're going to hear from you even more.
Now, the one flaw that we have seen is a lot of people can talk up an event.
Huge.
It's big, right? It's going to be
Yes.
the best thing ever.
Huge.
Nothing like it. We're going to be, you're going to be in history because
Yes.
no one's ever done something like this before.
Yep.
Then they get to the event, so you've built this whole thing up, and they're
Yep.
up here, right? And then they come to the event and they're expecting all of these things, and then it just kind of peters out at the event, and nothing it
Right.
doesn't come to fruition.
And then when they get home, it peters even more.
So then when they get home, they're like, well, I was excited, but I thought I was going to learn this, and this, and I
Right.
only got this, right?
Yes.
And that's what you don't want to do. You want to set up the expectation,
Mm-hmm.
but you also want to over-deliver on what that
Yes. Mm-hmm.
is, so that you're creating, again, another, oh, well, I thought I was going to get this and this,
No,
but I
but they
actually
gave
got
me
all
even
of
more.
that plus this over here.
Yes.
Now we're leaving on,
Yes.
on the up, right?
Yep.
Versus on the down.
Mhm. That's even with small enough as a valet ticket for parking.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they was going to pay $15, but you gave them $5 off.
Or
Or
it
free.
was, you got that worked into your contract where they didn't have to pay anything.
Yes.
They got a validation from
Right.
showing that they went to the event and they don't have to
Yes.
pay anything.
And you let them know near the end of the event, before they even leave, to take out their wallets, knowing they're going to have to pay, because you don't have to do it as soon as they walk through the door, and then it's like a discount,
Mm-hmm.
a surprise.
It's like a little benefit, right?
Yes.
All these little benefits add up, and everybody
do.
likes little benefits. It's like, oh, I was planning on paying. I don't have to? Awesome, great,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Or have a discount on lunch tomorrow.
Right.
Anything
Or
like
it's
that.
provided. Or, hey, we've got this afternoon snack for you guys. It's
Yes.
really healthy. It's exactly what you want. So that it's all these little things. Or, you know what? We were going to take a lunch, but we decided to provide lunch for you guys
Yeah, have a
so we
working
can
lunch.
keep working through lunch
Yes.
to give you even more value. Maybe we're
And
going to
you can
open
ask
up
more questions.
We're going to open up for a
Yes.
panel or a Q&A. There's so many things that
People
you
love
can
that.
do to add extra little benefits in along the way, and that makes people happy. It also creates the
Yes.
overall arching impact. So if there's one thing that you can get out of this today, what our topic here, it's that you want to create an impact, but you create an impact
Yeah.
from the beginning,
Yes.
from how you
A
set
lasting
things
impact.
up, from how you're from the event, the venue that you choose, from the
Yes.
location. Do you have a space that's big enough for everything? Is it,
Yes.
is
it parking?
it
Is it
conducive
food?
to people
Do
coming?
they have food?
Yep.
Do you have to go 5 miles away?
That's never good.
No. Then your breaks will be 2 hours for
Yeah.
lunch.
And you don't want that. People are investing their time to be there. You don't want them spending their time getting to and from for meals or other, even
Yes,
the
anything
bathroom.
else.
Lots of those all come into play. And we
Right,
have
you want the
topics.
bathrooms close.
We've covered a lot of these topics
Yes, in our
previously. So go back and listen
Yes.
to some of those episodes because it's all the little things that add up to the big picture.
That's right.
Right?
And share this episode
Yeah.
and all the other ones also.
Yeah, because this is how we're creating an impact, right? We're wanting
Yes.
to get out there and get the message
By
out there.
giving our information out there.
Right, and by helping by helping more speakers or helping more
Yes.
coaches to build this industry into something that's a wow. Not something people think about,
Yep.
oh, events and seminars and conferences,
Right.
kind of don't want. It's like, no, this
No.
can be an
Yes, and you can
amazing
learn it.
vehicle. It could be an amazing way of taking your information and getting it out instead of going one to one.
One
To many, right?
Yes.
Instead of just talking to someone through a screen like we're doing here or through audio, you can
Yes.
actually be there with them in
Yes, and
person.
get
You
that
can touch
in-person
them,
feel.
and that
Yes.
creates a more connection.
High five.
Yeah, people are craving connection. People
are.
are craving.
They were locked up in their homes for a while, so.
And it just,
Let's do it.
a lot of things are so isolating nowadays,
Yes.
right? It's like, you're over here in this box or you're over here in this category. It's like, no, we can all come together and work synergistically together.
Yes.
But it also helps to shake a hand, give a hug,
Yes.
look at someone's eyes and smile, have a laugh.
Dance together.
All
Yeah.
these things, and that's
Have
things
fun.
those are things that you can do through events, right? And so think about
No matter
the
how
impact.
small.
Right. It doesn't matter if you have 5, 10, 500, 5,000,
It's gonna
500,000.
grow.
You've got to start where you are. And the smaller the event, the more
intimate.
you can also work on your skills. You can work on developing, you can work on tweaking, you can work on, so that when you
Recording
do
yourself and watching yourself.
expand it out and open it up to more people, you're ready for that, right? If you're going to go
That's right.
from
You're
nothing
ready.
to 5,000
many.
people, it might be a little bit much to handle, right?
Yes.
Versus if you go from, 50 to 500 to 5,000 to 50,000,
Yes.
it's like, oh, okay,
You
we're
built it up
working
on
on
its
that.
own.
But your
Yes.
impact, you're creating that from no matter how big or small your event is, all the way over here, you're always keeping in mind your attendees and the impact that you're creating. And how are you creating that impact? And then at the end of the event, you want to think, okay, did we fulfill?
Yeah. Right.
Did we drop the ball anywhere? Was there anything
No.
we need to still work on? How can we make us better next time? How can we really hone this and work on creating even a better
Yes.
experience, a bigger impact the next time, right? And that's the whole thing is what's great about events is you do one today, you can do another one,
Yes,
and
you
you
can
can
do it once a
always
month.
build upon the
Every
next
2
one
weeks. Yes.
and make them even better, right? So
Correct.
depending on how
And
often
different kind of events.
Yeah.
You don't always have to have the same event. You can have multiple different kinds of events.
different topics,
Yes.
different, how many people are there? Is it larger? Is it smaller? Are you doing more of
Intimate.
There's all kinds of events.
Cocktail parties.
And that's what's amazing about events is there's no one.
Yes, interchangeable.
Yeah, there's no one
Yes.
cookie cutter way. It's like, what do you want? What do you see? How do you
Yes.
bring that vision to life, right?
Correct.
And you can do that any which way through events.
Yes.
So,
And if you have any questions
Yeah.
or anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
yeah, let us know. We're here. We do have our Q&A episodes
Yes.
that we put out as well. And so if you have any questions, any comments, anything that you would like,
Tips. Even
like
tips
us,
for us.
Yeah, we're always an open book. We're always,
Yes.
we're always willing to learn and grow as well.
Yes.
But
Or
definitely,
what would you like to hear?
yeah, what do you want to hear more of? What do you have questions on? What are you needing help with? We're here to help you guys with that and make sure that
We are.
you subscribe and share and
Yes, and like.
the show. That helps us get the message out there to more people.
Yes, we appreciate it very
and
much.
tell your other like-minded speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs, about the show. We are here for you guys and to serve
here for you.
And remember, it only takes an instant to make an impact. We'll talk to you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.